I am not here to debate with anyone. I have devoted all of my adult life to this subject. I only debate with my equals. All others I teach.
Yeah, let me just cut through the chase real quick. Right, let me cut through the chase. I don't want to hear not any of you talk about they're trying to keep us divided. I don't want to hear I don't want to hear this classic, you know, they're trying to keep us divided, man. They're trying to keep us, we gotta unify. I don't want to hear that, because the same people who saying that are the same people who supported the current administration. I don't want to hear that, because you're being dishonest. But then y'all have a problem with Mamdani. Now y'all saying Mamdani, now y'all saying Christians and Jews need to leave New York because of Mamdani. But then Mamdani, and I'm not here to defend Mamdani. Let me make myself clear. The truth matters, not your opinion. The truth matters. Okay? Not your bigotry. The truth matters, not your fucking ass opinion. Okay? That's what matters. Now, when Mamdani opened up his mouth and said on the campaign trail, and even before his campaign trail, defended, because he was Muslim, he defended he defended um, and hate crimes against Jews, against people of the book. Y'all purposely overlook all of that when he called out anti-Semitic, um, anti-Semitism. I can't pronounce it right. I'm country. Forgive me. When he's out there saying I'm against Jewish violence, that came out of Mamdani's mouth. So now y'all want to say, well, it's time for the Christians and Jews to leave New York because the Muslims are taking over and the Muslims are going to do this and they're going to do that. New York is going to be Sharia law. Now, y'all want to talk about Dearborn, Michigan, right? Is there Sharia law in Dearborn? But then y'all going to tell me, that's what I'm saying, George. How can you be for Sharia law, but then you're progressive to gay rights? No, notice the argument. Now I'm sitting there watching a live stream. You know, I need to go to bed though. I was asleep, but I got, I want to go to bed. But I'm watching this live stream and look at the mental gymnastics. You know, look at the mental gymnastic, George, they try to do. They try to make it as, oh, it's them. It's, no, no. You're trying to justify your bigotry. Then they say, well, we're gonna blame it on the Zoomers, Generation Z. We're gonna blame it on the Zoomers because they did not remember 9/11. You know, let's talk about that for a minute, right? Because they did not remember 9/11. That's fine. I mean, and yes, they don't remember 9 and 11, and they keep saying this to say that we don't want, to justify saying, the Zoomers don't know what they're don't know what they're voting for because they wasn't here during 9/11, quote unquote. But then they be the same people. They'll tell black people of the 21st century don't bother asking for reparations for slavery when slavery has been um, outlawed for 150 years or 160 years, I should say. Hundreds, yeah, 160, yeah, 160 years. Well, you were reparation because you wasn't here for it. Well, okay, then like the same, then the same narrative should be applied to these Zoomers who did not remember the two towers being knocked down. And then I'm listening to this clown talk about, you know, well, I served in the United States military, and I didn't, um, you know, you Muslims here in America, you know, they don't like you too. Wait a minute. Then by that logic, then you shouldn't have no fear of a Mamdani. You shouldn't have no fear of the lady who won. No, well, I can't tell. Well, you know what? I got to back away from the lady and who's the new lieutenant governor of Virginia. And the fact that y'all so mad about Sharia law, but then we're heading to the handsmaiden tale. While the current administration, certain state governments like Texas, Mississippi, Alabama, is trying to do the handmaiden tale policies with Project 2025, trying to bring about Christian dominism. See, everybody want to call this Christian nationalism. No, there's an ideology that's far worse than Christian nationalism. Christian nationalism is just trying to, no, Christian dominism is worse than Christian nationalism. Y'all need to see, and this is what John Adams said. That's why John Adams said this in 1799, saying America is not a Christian country, it's not a Jewish country, and it's not a Mohammed country. Yeah, you win some, you lose some. You're right. Yeah, Simone Biles, a gymnastics. Yeah, Mamdani was 9 years old when 9/11 happened, and it's safe to say nothing. He had nothing to do with it. Right. But y'all worry about about people who are Muslim. Well, man, they're gonna, you know, and down here, I don't know about you, George. I don't know about you, George. There's this woman. Um, I'm gonna do a live stream later in the evening. I'm gonna do a live stream later in the evening. Because I really want to talk about something else that happened the other day. That needs to be covered. There's two things that happened in Mexico I really want to talk about. It was so brazen, but I'll talk about it later on because I'm got the footage for both those things happened in Mexico. But you know, I'm really getting tired of certain people who talk about unity, but then do anti-Islamic and anti-black make anti-Islamic, anti-black statements at the same time. Everybody know what's going on. And let me say this too. While like a lot of y'all talk about Mamdani this, Mamdani that. Well, who financed Mamdani's campaign? Y'all never really asked who really financed Mamdani's campaign. If Mamdani was such a bad character, if Mamdani was so anti was so anti-Semitic, how come he received billions? How come his campaign was created and funded by two billionaires who are, you know, it shows how stupid y'all are. Two Jewish billionaires finance Mamdani's campaign, who's a Muslim. Y'all mad because Zoran Mamdani said no to traveling to the country, a certain country in the Middle East. See, a lot of y'all disgust me, and then y'all in the same live stream, you want to talk about the First Amendment in the Constitution of the United States. You're right. You're right. You see, the thing is though, everybody is using the narrative that the Christian right, the right-wing Christians are doing. The narrative, we gotta be anti-Muslim, anti-Semitic. No, I mean anti-Muslim messaging to bring fear about. Right. That's the point. He's not a diplomat, so he shouldn't have to travel overseas. Right? Yeah. He's running for New York mayor. He's not trying to go to Israel. I remember watching that whole debate. Watch that whole debate over there, right? They ask a question and everybody else answered the same lateral. Hold on. What was that? Hold on. Remind me in 30 days. Thank you, Windows. And right, exactly, Hammer Time. Nobody wants Cuomo to be mayor anyway. Now, am I going to say Mamdani's going to be a good mayor? Who knows? Who knows? I mean, he might be a good mayor. Who knows? Because I'm not somebody from. I'm not a New Yorker. I'm not from New York. But to sit there and make a statement that, New York is going to become anti-Semitic and New York is going to become anti-Christian and they're going to allow Sharia law to come in. How are you? And George, you're right about this. How 1 minute you said Sharia law, and at the same time, the candidate that y'all think is going to usher in Sharia law is backing gay rights, backing LGBTQ, um you know, backing that. These same people that want to talk about America, America. Okay, we're gonna talk about America, right? But yet y'all talk all about Mamdani. But let's talk about how yet they won't list. They won't open their mouth about about Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz supposed to be this Christian, and then all of a sudden we down here in Texas are freezing. We was freezing to death down here when that blizzard came and they was cutting out the power off. And still they did not build a new what you would call it. Oh my God, I don't know why power grid. They didn't even use a power grid. I don't know why I'm using the word what you would call it. I'm sounding like that dumb parrot, that parrot from fucking ass Florida. You got a bunch of people around here trying to talk about things that don't know shit. The thing from the thing with the thing. Sound like Rollo with the thing with the thing and from the thing. Nigga, what are you talking about? Fat parrot. I'm getting tired of people. I'm tired of the most misinformed people having a say. If you're not informed, shut up. You're over here talking and don't know shit. Maybe they might want to go back. These same people who want to talk about Christianity, y'all might want to go back to William Penn. Everybody say, well, Big J, who is William Penn? Well, if you know something about your civics, then you should know about religious pluralism. When William Penn settled in the land we now call Pennsylvania, William Penn said in his colony, we're going to have plural religions, plural faith, which is now enshrined, which helped enshrine into the founding documents that y'all claim that y'all supposed to uphold, yet though y'all don't read them. You know, the same people who want to chastise other people about the Constitution, and they don't even read the Constitution themselves. They only care about the First Amendment and the Second Amendment. They only care about the First and Second Amendment of the Constitution. And then this guy going to talk about this election in New York was illegal. What a load of crap. The election is legal. Mamdani won fair and square. Get over it. And then here's the thing about y'all. Y'all are the same people that talk that tried not to say nothing about January 6th. See, if January 6th was successful, if January 6th was quote unquote successful, right? Then by that logic, y'all would have defended that. Y'all would say, "Oh, these people was freedom fighters." When what happened January 6th went against the Constitution, because in the I forgot amendment. Well, I think it was Amendment 20 that Congress should meet to count the electoral votes. Why are you disrupting the counting of the electoral votes? You got a bunch of people who talking and don't know shit. And like I said, these Zoomers, the Zoomers have met. The Zoomers had grown up. They start voting. They don't care about the bullshit about your bigotry at all. They're not they're they're not concerned about uh gang. They have two flying fucks about yours how can I say it? They give two flying fucks about your insecurity. About the different races and the different groups. Now I give them that. See, I give them that. But listen to what I heard last night, a few hours ago. Y'all are so sad. Y'all ain't really talking about policy. If Mamdani was such a bad person as y'all claim him to be, how come you're not talking about his policy? What's so bad about his policy? I said, I'm waiting for the conversation about policy. Over here scared about y'all over here scared about you know excuse me. Well, the Ted Cruz one is, well, Ted Cruz is a born American citizen based upon the father. No, I'm sorry, based upon the mother. What was a what was American was a naturally born citizen. But anyway, but y'all out here talking about you know I'm just saying, you conservatives over here don't know what y'all about the most misinformed people. And I'm being nice. I'm actually being nice here when I'm saying y'all about the most misinformed people. And the problem, and what's so sad is, most people who come on these YouTube live streams are misinformed, ignorant about information. Now about the whole Iran this, Iran that. Okay. I ain't no friend of Iran. I'm gonna say this again. Because because I ain't no friend of the Iranian government at all. But can we at least be clear? Can we at least be clear here? Let's be clear here. If the Iranians are is being anti-Semitic and killing, oh, I'm sorry, excuse me, deleting those of the Jewish faith, then therefore, by that logic, explain why there are 50,000 people of Iran who still have Jewish temples. How come there's 40,000? Well, I think 40 to 40. I think yes. I think there's 40,000 or 400,000 people in Iran. I'm trying to remember the exact. I think it's 40,000 or 400,000. But either way, if there was such a genocide, if you will, within the borders of Iran, how come there's still 10 temples in Iran? How come there's Jewish temples in Iran? Again, I'm no friend of Iran, but why sit there and lie on it? A lot of y'all, a lot of y'all do not go overseas. A lot of y'all don't got no passports. And I'm not saying because you don't have a passport, I'm looking down on y'all. But some of y'all don't either read or don't well travel. You got at least two things. You got at least two things. A human being need the most well-informed people need to do two things. Y'all either travel or y'all research and look things up. And when I said research, I said actual research, not watching ideological bent publications about who's liberal and conservative. See, y'all too worried about who's liberal and conservative, and then y'all got the gall to tell me about, well, we need to unify. I'm not going to unify over a lie. Lying about a religion, lying about a race, how some of you white people want to unify with black people, but then y'all want to lie about black people. Make disparaging comments about black people, overlooking what happened in North Carolina, and using that tagline, 13% of the population committed 50% of crimes. That's a lie. So you want us to unify and hold and have hand in hand singing Kumbaya? That's not bullshit. If you want unity, you got to be honest with me. Or anybody who actually can fucking read. Read and study. But yet you accuse me of talking shit. No, I stand 10 toes down on what the fuck I see. Y'all cannot debunk me at all. Again, I ain't no fan of Iran. I'm telling you, the person who's in the chat room, I'm not a fan of Iran. I'm telling you this right now. I'm not a fan of Iran. But let's just be honest about Iran. Let's be honest about the Middle East. Can we at least be honest about what's going on? Everybody want to put things in a simple black and white paradigm rather than looking at it from a gray area. See, too many of y'all are being influenced by the Cold War, y'all, by the evangelical community for the past 60, 50, 60 years. Y'all been influenced by that y'all completely ignore what's going on. That y'all happily see, y'all happily condone misinformation. Y'all happily condone misinformation, lying, and racism. Black conservatives think Thomas Sowell is an intellectual, so they believe anything. Thomas Sowell is not as intellectual as people believe. And I'm gonna say something too about these black conservatives, right? I'm gonna talk about these black conservatives because I see them on YouTube. Some of them going to put up a picture of they want to put a picture of I forgot his. Oh my God, my mind went blank. My mind actually went blank. Booker T. Washington, yeah. Y'all want to put the image of Booker T. Washington up on the wall, talking about but then y'all never read that book up from slavery. Y'all never really read some of his speeches. Booker T. Washington, and you know what? Booker T. Washington was a bootlicker. I'm sorry. Booker T. Washington was a bootlicker. How can you be for how can you be against this white supremacy, but then you want the black man to join the United States military, and you said that the black man must what's the word? That the black man needs to be a part of the war against Spain to take over Cuba, because the black man can withstand the tropical heat of Cuba. So send the colored regiment to assist Teddy Roosevelt of St. Juan. First of all, the argument of sending troops to using your black troops to send to a place based upon the what you call it, the racism, the bigotry of black people can withstand quote unquote environment. That's racism. That's some coon level shit right there. And then though, taking over Cuba, Puerto Rico, and the Philippines for when you supposed to be against colonization. That's why I ain't no fan of no Booker T. Washington. Never was a fan of Booker T. Washington until and if you actually read his book Up from Slavery, if you read his book about about Atlanta, that the Pale speech in Atlanta, if you read anything things he said about Atlanta, I mean about you know integration and segregation, then therefore y'all don't y'all don't read. Y'all just read certain things he said and then y'all run with it. When I hear black people use that the 15 minute, yeah, right, the 13% population commit the 15% of crime. Yeah. Black people, if that is the case, right? If 13% of the population are committing 50% of crimes, then by that logic, that means each black person, even down to the child, has committed 6 crimes. If you really want to use, if y'all really want to use some comprehension, if 50% of the crimes are committed by 13% of the population, then by that logic, you have to sit there and my math ain't right. I mean, my math ain't really good, right? I'm not good at math, but using um excuse me, but using how I'm gonna say it, using common sense, right, and critical thinking skills. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I want to say using critical thinking skills and some logic. That means every black adult had to make a piece, had to make 2 or 3 crimes or 4 or 5. I forgot how. Well, I mean, it's so lopsided that each and every person had to commit a certain X amount of crimes. That will mean that I committed more than 1 crime, more than one or 2 felonies. So the whole 13% committed 50% of the crimes is a fallacy. And then they're shocked about what happened yesterday. What happened Tuesday, rather, because it's Thursday now. What happened on Tuesday? What happened on Tuesday? People got fed up with the talking points. What happened on Tuesday? People got fed up with misinformation. People got fed up with these so-called debates that are out of bad faith. You don't even know what the hell y'all talking about. Y'all just regurgitate what somebody else says. But Big J was accused of talking shit. Let me say this to Mo Rick Delk, right? Mo, you said I was talking shit, right? What was I talking shit about last night? See, in every video I made, I said check the links in the description box. See, I don't just talk out of my ass. Every time I do a video, a pre-record video, I said check the links below for references. Check the links in the description of the box for references. I've always been saying that. Because for me, clarity matters. Clarity has always mattered with me. Facts matter, not your opinion. Clarity matters, not agreement. If you can't clarify what the person's actually saying, then therefore you're doing it out of bad faith. Some of y'all doing this out of trying to argue with me in bad faith. Y'all want to blame the black judge that released what's his name, that stabbed that poor Ukrainian woman in that subway, in that Raleigh, North Carolina subway, and y'all trying to say, well, that was a fault of DEI and black people being racist against white people. That judge who released what's his name, she didn't do it out of racism, nor she did it out of DEI. She did it because the federal government and the state government laws. And on top of that, every crime he did before that was not a serious crime. Was not a felony crime. It was mostly misdemeanors. That's why she let him go, because it was misdemeanors he was committing before he did the act of violence against the young lady, the young Ukrainian lady. And y'all don't want, and then your wife want to come to me talk about her son. Your wife, Kelly Ray, want to talk to me about her son and all that other shit. Has nothing to do with the shit I'm talking about happening in Raleigh, North Carolina. Talk about what the fuck I'm talking about. That's what y'all need to do. Talk about what the fuck I'm talking about. We're not talking about your son. We're not talking about what's going on in Detroit. We're not talking about what the fuck going on in Michigan. We're not talking about somewhere in the Midwest. We're talking about something that happened in Raleigh, North Carolina, and how people like Steve Crowder, Charlie Kirk, and a lot of y'all from the far right trying to make a racist trope about that. Facts matter with me. And what Sergeant Woody Pete put out, when SWP put out the facts out, instead of addressing the facts your wife want to talk about what her son did. We're not talking about what your son did. What your son, who live on the other side of the country, had to do with what's going on in Raleigh. Shit like that pisses me off. But then y'all got the nerve to tell me, just sit down. Bullshit. I refuse to sit down. Y'all talking and don't know shit. Y'all here over there just bumping y'all's gums and don't know what the fuck going on. So Mo, you said I was talking shit last night. No, I stand 10 fucking toes down about what's going on, and then y'all want to try and make up that Mamdani is going to destroy America. Mamdani ain't gonna do a shit. Mamdani ain't no danger to this country. This country is a danger to itself. Right. Judges have to follow laws that they can't make things up. Right, exactly. Trying to talk about the DEI of that black female judge. Trying to use that black female judge to justify this anti-black black woman brigade. And I'm gonna say something too, right? I gotta say this. Right? I'm gonna say this straight up. I'm looking at Roland Martin because I'm gonna talk about black women in a minute. Roland Martin wearing that shirt saying "Vote like a black woman." I'm really getting me tired of you you fucking simps. Okay, let me talk about black women and this support for oh my god, my mind went fucking blank. Black women in this support for Jasmine Crockett, right? I'm going to sit here and say this, right? Don't wear no shirt saying "Vote like a black woman." Roland, that's not the shirt to use. You should tell black men to get involved. Black men need to be in the leadership. Now, and no, no, and no, and there is a reason why I'm saying this, right? Wearing a shirt saying "Vote like a black woman." Only what you're doing, Roland Martin, is being a simp. You know, and it's pandering. Rather than you can't sit there and wonder why black men are not being involved, but then you wearing a shirt saying "Vote like a black woman" and um using Jasmine Crockett as a tool. And let me say this right now, while somebody gonna misinterpret it, what I just said, because some of y'all really don't use no critical thinking skills in this space. I do support Jasmine Crockett. Let me say this again. I support Jasmine Crockett. Let me say it again for you. I support Jasmine Crockett. Now shut the fuck up. Because some of this anti-black male shit has to stop though. Roland Martin, you are 5 years behind on this shit. You're 5 years behind. Putting on a shirt saying vote like a black woman, you're putting a target on black women. You're using black women as a scapegoat for success or failure. Rather than saying vote like Martin, vote like Malcolm, vote like Harriet. I'm gonna say put a shirt saying vote like Harriet. Vote like I forgot her name. I forgot her name from the 1910s and the 1920s. What's her name? Uh oh my God, I forgot her name. The black woman name from let's all the black women on a fucking shirt. And the black men that was there too on a shirt. But to sit there and use black women as a tool and as an argument, you know, because when it fails, black women become a target. When it's successful, you can use black men for cannon fodder while upholding black women on a pedestal. That's why, man, using that punk ass shirt you wear, that's pandering. I'm glad. Hold on. I'm glad though you see it, Mel. Hold on. Let me say it like this. Let me say it. Hold on. Uh-oh, what happened to my... Oh, here it is. And I'm glad though you see it. See, people mistaking what I said as being anti-black woman. I'm not being anti-black woman, but I see a play. When he's wearing that shirt, it's really a play. It's really putting a target on black women. And you know, and I said this last year, right? I said this last year that black women are going to be a escape dog. Escape a what's the word? A scapegoat. Black women are going to use that as scapegoat because I did a live stream with Jasmine Crockett and Taylor Green. When Marjorie Taylor Green was going at it, I said this back then. I said black women are going to be used as an scapegoat. And people still did not understood what I was saying. Oh, you being anti-black. Look, you got that Negro by name of and I'll say his name. I'll say his name for right now, for the purpose of this, for the reference point. I'm gonna use hardcore Tito, right? Tito did a video of me last year, lampooning me because he thought I was caping for black women when I really was talking about liberals using black women as a scapegoat. But in fact, though, both sides was using black women as a scapegoat. Mel, so you have to forgive me. You really have to forgive me because I need to go to bed, but I'm sleepy as fuck. But that's why I'm not firing on all cylinders and shit. That's why I'm not firing on all cylinders, because I'm forgetting names as I'm talking. You know, I see the image of the person's face and the name at the tip of my tongue, but you know, right. Thank you. That's the name. That's the person who I was referring to. Ida B. Wells. George. Thank you, George. That's who I was uh, referring to in 1920s, 1910s, 1920s, because she was trying to get black men to vote, not just in the United States, but in Great Britain, because she was in Great Britain during World War One, advocating for black people to vote, especially black men to vote, because black women in general did not vote. Women vote. Women in Great Britain voted and start voting in 1920, a year after American women had the right to vote. Yeah, I've got people on here who talk and don't know shit. You know, George, thank you, thank you for being my brain here, man. Because you actually are being my brain. Because yes, that's the person who I was referring to. Why not put on shirts like "Vote like Ida," "Vote like Harriet"? You know, doing all of that pandering. No, the thing is, get get you get black men involved. You don't worry about what black women are doing. You get black men involved. Black women are already involved. The black women are already involved. No, get black men involved. You get black men involved, they wouldn't be part of this Kevin Samuels manosphere bullshit, MGTOW bullshit that they're on. You get them involved, Roland. Wearing that dumbass shirt. How old am I? I'm in my 40s. I'm in my early 40s. I'm under the age of 45. I'll put it like that. You know. I mean, anyway, let me get out of here. I'm not really. I'm over 8, so it must be indigestion. No, that's right. It was some tacos. Yeah, it was those tacos I've been eating. That's why I'm. Yeah, but anyway, let me get off of here and yeah, I'm gonna end this early, y'all. I apologize. I got to end this early. Uh, got indigestion from them tacos, so I'm out of here. Y'all have a good one. Peace.
I am not here to debate with anyone. I have devoted all of my adult life to this subject. I only debate with my equals. All others I teach.